Hi everyone, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. We have Oak Ridge Military Academy colors presentation for AMVETS last year. Don't know where this was, but anyway, here we go. Oak Ridge is following Army technique, but they have thumb in front of the staff, which is not the technique. Going and so you can see the difference in hand height here for the color bearers. The left hand, left thumb should be wrapped around the staff, not in front. And I know the previous training circular had some had the drawings that were kind of strange, but then we have the present training circular that is just totally out there with the cartoon like drawings. I actually appreciate the drawings to some extent. I mean, they're quite interesting, but drawings cannot give you that three-dimensional detail that's really required. So have my handy dandy staff here. So in one of the images, it looks like your here, let me get closer. So in one of the images, it looks like the left hand is like this, and then as soon as you go to present arms, it looks like the hand is like that. What on earth what does that mean? So having the thumb in front does nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, I'm not a big fan of this technique anyway, putting the left hand there all the time. I think the Army did the wrong thing when they switched to this in the 1970s, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So if you're going to use the technique, at least make it mean something so that you have some more control over the staff, which means taking your thumb, wrapping it around the socket, or the staff at the socket. So what we'll see here when they get closer is that the sockets are those garbage, and this is not, I'm not insulting the team at all. I'm insulting the makers of the harness socket. They're cheaper sockets, cheaper colors harnesses, and they have this big plastic cup. There's a wide base to it and a wide mouth, but even though there's a wide mouth, the staffs seem to or tend to anchor themselves at the back, so that there's the back of the floor of the socket, so there's no room for the thumb to wrap around. So I understand why the cadets might be using that thumb in front technique, because the harnesses are just junk. Sorry if you don't appreciate that, but I don't appreciate the harnesses. They're absolute garbage. Now that I have my luggage returned to me from the airline a month later, this is the staff that I absolutely, or the staff, this is the colors harness. It's the double colors harness that I like. Now notice that the harness straps only attach to the top of the frame of the harness. That's all that really should be. And then the harness frame hangs freely. The harness socket is nice, heavy metal, so that it hangs nicely. When the harness, even though you can get these with the harness straps attaching again to the side, anytime you have that kind of a four-point attachment to the frame, that's also junk. It doesn't work. There's something that is off about the balance. You can see here that the harness straps attach several inches up with these square figure eights. I don't know exactly what these would be called, but anyway, this is the perfect harness. Now this is a heavy web material. I also have one that is Clarino. Clarino is a fake leather. It's a chemical-based leather that is super shiny. It's like the shoes. There's a class of poromeric leather, and Corfam is what the shoes are made out of, and then the harnesses are made out of Clarino. Why the difference? I don't know, but that's that's the case. Anyway, so when you put the, I'll just turn my my pick here upside down. But when you insert the yeah, well, even having a whole staff in there, there's still plenty of room to put that thumb behind. No problem, no problem at all. So I recommend this most definitely. As these, you'll see, they're not good. All right, team. So you increased your step tempo significantly. You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that at all. Now here, look at the hands. State color bearer. Why are it looks like North Carolina? Why are you? Why do you have your hand that high? Your left hand. So I get that the national color bearer is shorter than what should be the organizational color bearer. I get that there's a height difference, and also look at the belts. The height difference is significant, but also the belt difference, the waist level is quite significant as well. But I very much appreciate. Thank you very much, team. You did an awesome job in ensuring that the harness sockets were at the same level. That's perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Well done on that. Very, very nice job. But the left hand is a bit too high there. And then, and I don't know, the video might be a bit grainy for us to see. And then you go to mark time here, and again, you're increasing that tempo significantly. All right, so here you can see how the socket frame is comes down. It looks like a shield, honestly, this type of frame. It looks like a shield. It comes down to a point at the bottom, and then it has this plastic cup in the front. And it's just not a good thing. Now, really, team, you need to practice to a metronome set for 120. See how you're doing that really quick tempo. It doesn't look good. Honestly, it looks very parochial, very like you're in grade school type of thing, and you're marching like little soldiers, that type of thing. And again, I'm not trying to insult, but this is how it comes across. So you practice at a certain tempo. 120. Cadets have a variance in there of 116 to 124, and for competitions. But set your metronome for 120 and practice at 120. Practice everything at 120. Always. The metronome app on your phone, put it at 120, and set it to 4/4, and don't have an accent tone in there, or you can set it to 2/4, have the accent tone, and you can have a tick tock, two different tones, and a left right in there if you want. Totally up to you. And this is not colors reverse. This is not the proper technique. So what I will do is down below I will put a link to my briefing for colors reverse. And for the present, again, should be organizational bearer here, but you should have gone out in a single count and not 3. Left hands on the rifles are too high. You should have, use my lighter rifle here. You should have your left hand when you're at port. See, this is the upper receiver. Your pinky should be right there. And then your pinky should also be on the same line with as when you're at port. So left hand's much too high. Wrong staffs, wrong finials. The conical spear finial is not authorized for U.S. military color guards, and by default you are at a military school. You're following Army techniques. You have both flags are fringed. They look to be 3x4 flags, but then you need the appropriate staffs and spades. And we're going to skip if they go into yeah. So maybe some of you are wondering why this gentleman here is saluting. There's a couple others saluting here. National Defense Authorization Act of 2000, quite a few years ago now, authorized veterans to render a hand salute. And then the Marine Corps came out with further guidance just a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and said that Marine Corps veterans are not going to salute. Because, these gentlemen here are uncovered and indoors. So the Army, Air Force, Space Force, we salute anytime, honestly, whether we have a hat on or not, whether indoors or outdoors, doesn't matter. But Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, they have very more strict rules about rendering that hand salute. Why you're saying the pledge as well, I have no idea. (13, 14, 15, 16). So technically, colors reverse is supposed to end in about 6 steps, maybe 8. You're taking 16, and you're taking little tiny steps. You're racing through it, but and the technique for you both going to present is should be carry colors, by the way, and that's a big argument, but I won't get into it. So when you come to port, and then you're going to take this right hand and slide it up, not do what you're doing, right guard, which is coming out and smacking the rifle. You're just going to slide that right hand up, and that's it. And we don't execute little tiny facing movements either. These little itty bitty cadets do this all the time, and actually some veterans do as well. These itty bitty facing movements to do this and that and the other, they don't exist, honestly. Not unless formation is given half right or half left face, but that's only for Army, Air Force, and Space Force. Their half-facing movements don't even exist in the other 3 services. So, and I know we're following Army techniques here. I get it. Looks like these are gold-colored aluminum staffs. Just now that I can see that here, now that it's close enough. So I get you're posting the colors, and then that's fine. But you could have left from the formation and not stepped forward, executed that little half facing movement. And so what you should have done, this is a split post. So, and I mean, this takes a lot more instruction to work out a split post. But what you should have done is you should have come up, and instead of facing completely away from the audience and facing the wall, both of you should have faced inward at an angle so that you could see each other. Because what we have back here is excuse me, I'm not every morning. Holy cow. I'm sorry. All right, so there, right there. So American flag bearer, you're bending over, looking to your left, right? You shouldn't be doing that at all. You're at attention. You should be looking straight down, and if you need to, you move the flag away. Hold the staff with your right, move the flag away with your left, and place it in. You always remain at attention. Now, state over here, look how high state is now. This is why you need to face each other and do exactly the same thing, or as close to exactly the same thing at the same time. So now you're going to diamond the flag, but see, you're looking over a U.S. flag bearer. You're looking over at state, and you wouldn't have to if you were just angled just like this. You'd use your eyes, and then you would dress the flag properly. So both of you aren't dressing the flag correctly. So the fringe, the side, well, what looks like the side is actually the top of the flag. That you're both holding it in your left hand. You have fringe in your left hand. It shouldn't be there. It should be in the right hand. That's the top of the flag in the United States, and as far as I know, every country that reads left to right, we always drape to the right. So that means the top of the flag, where you have the fringe, that's going to, and even if you don't have fringe, that's going to be over at the right. It's going to be in your right hand. Why are you doing that? I don't like this posting sequence, honestly, and that's fine. You've already saluted the flag. Now, it's just it becomes a salute fest. So, color bearers, even though you don't have the flags in your hands, you don't execute an about face. You don't turn around and march to the rear. You can step back and then over to your stairs, or step over kind of a face-in march, if you will, and step off that way. But don't face about. And then you're going to do it again. Yeah. So, oh, there we go. Now you can see the harness socket. See how it's attached at four different places on the frame there? And then the frame is a little bit long and again, looks like a shield. You can look this up. Glendale Parade Store sells them, and so does Millbar, and a couple other companies, I guess. Did you do that for the colors reverse before? I don't remember. All right. Yeah. Yes, you did. Oh, okay. Man, I didn't even pick that up. Oh, that's really interesting. So your colors reverse is completely wrong. Completely wrong. So not only are you in American flag bearer, you're turning wrong. You're turning to the right. So you're not exchanging places with the, you're kind of sort of doing it, but you're not supposed to move simultaneously with the org bearer. You're supposed to execute a face in left to a face in march, sorry, to the left. And okay, all right. I didn't pick that up earlier. And holy cow, yeah. So you definitely need to see that. All right. So then we're going to see the. So you posted the colors. Probably should have been a show and go. And that's not appropriate. Color bearers or color guards don't execute flanking movements. You don't execute a column, no flanks, no nothing. If you were, if that was part of your repertoire that you would do, then you'd see references in the training circular, the Marine Corps order, in the Air Force manual, or the Right, those three manuals. So don't flank off like that. Every left off would have been really good. And guards, you really should be at port and not at shoulder. So you've since this is a luncheon.
Sir, request permission to retire your colors. Retire the colors. Order. Arms.
Color bearers, you don't execute a hand salute. You're in formation, you never execute a hand salute. It doesn't matter. The guards can execute a hand salute if they are unarmed, if they're in a chapel. But you don't. Boy. I understand, and this little these little facing movements. Don't do them. Oh, that's a little awkward. So, oh, that's the perfect situation here. Now, see how, see the socket? It has a wide-ish base, but it flares out to the front only, and then watch how see the staff just naturally falls to or slides back to the rear of the socket, and there's no room whatsoever. So I get why the thumb is behind. I understand that. However, for Army technique, there should be a slight angle forward for the staffs. No. Don't execute an about face. And you're going to do it again. So there's several ways that this can take place, and it would take me an hour just to explain everything that you could do, a better way that you could do this. So retrieving the colors like this should only be for very, very special occasions. You should probably do this maybe once a year at the school, because you're having this formal award ceremony, dining in type of situation. That's really the only time. Retrieving the colors is a very special thing to do, and it's only for a very special situation. Presenting the colors, yeah, sure, every day, all day, multiple times a day. You can present the colors everywhere. You come in with your colors, you leave with your colors. There's already 2 colors or more up on stage, and you're just formally presenting. That's probably what should have happened here. I don't know if this is a luncheon or not, but at a more formal dinner, then okay, posting the colors, sure. Retrieving colors, no, I don't. And you're going to flank off. Yeah, we don't we don't flank on colors. So, having said all that I've said, you did a fine job. The colors, you didn't break much protocol necessarily, except the most egregious that happened is the about faces. Whether you have the flag in your hands or not, about face, nope, you don't do it. And that's right there in the training circular. That and to the rear march, never do it. So, yeah. Anyway, the rest of the presentation and the retrieval, not bad. You've put in a lot of hard work to get the timing down, to get the techniques down, to get the procedure down, and I see that. And well done to you, honestly. Could use some slight tweaking here and there. So, but in any case, well done, cadets. Honestly, well done. Thanks.